Hi, everybody. How are you doing today? If you can hear me, please just say hello, or I can hear you in the chat and we can get started. My name is Amy Whitney. I'm from realenglishconversations.com, and today I have a live lesson for you that's going to be really, really fun. We're going to be talking about some different things that parents say, little expressions or really colloquial things that you probably aren't going to find or hear in a textbook, but they're super fun to say if you have kids or if you're ever around kids, because the kids, they say what they want without really thinking about it, and then as an adult you can give them a smart answer and have a little bit of fun with them. So today I'm going to be doing this live lesson with Curtis. Let me just bring him on here. Hi Curtis, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Hi, Amy, and hi, everybody in the chat and on the live broadcast here. And yeah, good to see everybody, and you as well, Amy.
Awesome, great. And just so you guys know, everybody who's watching this live lesson today, you actually have a chance to enter to win one of our courses on the website. We do have a couple of rules in order to qualify, but we're going to get into that in a second. So if you are watching right now, if you could take a second to introduce yourself so that we know who's watching us. Say your name, say where you're from, for example, and we'll give you a little shout out here as soon as we get going and have some chat action. Okay, let me just get started here with this. Okay, so as I said, we're going to be talking about things that parents love to say to kids. So these are funny expressions and things that you can use in everyday conversations and communication with the smaller people in your life. And, you know, this sort of stuff is really what we're about. We're teaching you guys real English and the types of things that you can use as you're communicating in the language. So as I mentioned before, to win access to one of our courses, these are the guidelines. So you have to participate in the lesson, okay? Halfway through, this means you have to write a note in the chat and help us, because we're going to be displaying the examples and the things that people teach, or the ideas that people have to teach you guys how it's used. And if the idea you had is really working well with the expression, or if it sounds a little bit weird, just to help you to understand when and where to use it. And you're also going to have to write down the secret word. Halfway through the lesson, I'm going to have a slide that has the secret word. And this is to make sure that you're watching all the way through. We're not going to tell you when you are going to see this word, but it also is so that you we know that you watched the entire lesson. And then at the end of the lesson, we're going to ask you what that secret word is, and pick a number between 1 and 10 or 15 or however many people enter, and we're going to have our winner. Okay, so let's see here. Do we have anybody that said hello in the chat yet, Curtis?
Oh, we've got 𝗫𝐵𝐵. I hope I'm saying that right. Hi, 𝗫𝐵𝐵. Let us know where you're from, but welcome.
Yeah, welcome to the lesson. And it looks like we only have about 10 people right now, and we really, really need you guys to be active to participate, because if 𝗫𝐵𝐵 is the only person that's giving us answers, it's going to be a very, very boring lesson. So if everybody right now can open their phone or get on their computer, open that chat box and say hello, that's a good way to get started here. So let me go back. We're going to get going with our first expression. Okay, Curtis, so what do we see here in this picture?
A couple of kids. Looks like they've got some wooden spoons and some pots and pans that are probably going to be, it reminds me of what I used to play drums on when I was a little kid, banging and making noise.
So maybe you're the kid with the pink shirt on?
Looks like it, yeah.
Okay, perfect. So,
So,
we've got someone else that jumped into the chat, thank goodness. So
uh,
we've got 𝗪𝗏𝗃, and I probably said your name very, very badly. But anyway, he or she is from Montreal.
ah.
So welcome to the lesson. Okay.
Mishi is from Pakistan. Is where
Okay.
Mishi is from, yeah.
Okay. So what does this expression, or for this sort of situation when we see some really, really noisy kids, what
Yeah.
are we going to say in this sort of situation?
I can't even hear myself think. So when kids are acting crazy, maybe like me, I had 3 older brothers. I was the youngest. They were always kind of picking on me and, arguing and kind of having that sibling rivalry going on. My mom used to say, "Can you keep it down? I can't even hear myself think, boys."
Exactly. So whenever there's a lot of noise going on, so in this sort of situation, it looks like the boys took some pots and pans out of the cupboard and they thought it would be a fun game to get the wooden spoons and bang on them. And if this happens, the parent in the house is probably going to be like, oh, this is so much noise. So anyway, I can't even hear myself think. So let's see. One sec here. Okay, so as we said, we're going to use this when there's a loud situation. You're banging on something, you're using maybe a really noisy toy. So you can think of all those really annoying musical toys or the things that toy manufacturers think are great presents and very amusing for the kids. They can drive the parents crazy at the same time. So arguing with your brother and sister, like Curtis said earlier, or
Yeah.
being chatterboxes. Chatterboxes. What is a chatterbox, Curtis?
Somebody who just blah 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 talking and won't stop.
Exactly. So sometimes the kids are, but it can start to be annoying and really loud. So I can't even hear myself think. Okay. Now, for you guys to think of a situation, and this is really key when you're wanting to use expressions in English, is to think about when you might use something like this. Okay. So I want you to think of a situation. It could be a situation we mentioned, or it could be a situation that when you think of the noisiest kids that you've ever seen, what were they doing? Okay. And if you can type that situation into the chat box, we will use it as an example to show you guys how it would be used. So go ahead and write that in the chat box.
Shout out going to Carlos from Colombia, living in Florida. So hi, Carlos.
It's Carlos. That's one of the members of our website. Hi, Carlos. Thanks for joining us. And I think your kids are grown up, so I don't know that you'll be able to use these phrases with them, but maybe with your grandkids, this would be really, really helpful. Okay, good. So let's think of a situation. Noisy kids, what are they doing? When do you think that you might use this expression? Write your answer into the chat box so that we have a few examples to work with. We have a really small group of people that are watching today, just 9 people. So this lesson is just for you guys, but we design all of these live lessons to have interactions with the students. So if you don't participate, then we have a hard time doing the lesson and making it as fun as it needs to be. So let's see here. Remember, simple, short answers. Use your phone, use your computer, and think of a situation where kids are generally noisy, or a situation where you've been around noisy kids and it was difficult to concentrate. And I think we might have a quiet group of people. So Curtis, I think, do you have another situation where you your parents would say this to you?
Well, I'm a drummer, a musician, and I would go and practice as much as I could. I was a little kid. I wanted to play as loud as I could, and maybe my parents were trying to do something and concentrate on something. Usually, it was my mom that I drove crazy. She's like, "Curtis, stop playing those drums! I can't hear myself think." It's a
Mhm.
pretty good impression of my mother's voice there. But yeah, she said that a lot, especially when I was drumming and creating a bunch of noise in our basement. As a kid, I wanted to, of course, play as loud as possible, right? So yeah,
Mhm.
my mom went a little bit nuts.
Yeah, exactly. And I think for my case, my brother was quite a bit older than me. He was 7 years older, and sometimes we would argue, or we even say squabble. That's like two kids that are just and they're
Mhm.
doing things to annoy each other, and one is trying to annoy the other person, and it's kind of annoying. So if we started to get a little bit too loud with that, I would hear this expression. But I can imagine in your household you had three boys, so you probably heard this phrase a lot.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so let's see here. Oh,
I
we've
think
got a
we have.
couple of examples.
Mhm. We yeah, the examples are, we have to help some people out here with their answers. Let me just start with this one here. Listening to the news on TV and kids disturbing, and
Okay.
that's, yeah, that's where you would probably say, because it's disturbing, I had to say, I can't hear myself think.
hmm Yeah, and in this
Hmm.
situation, you would probably say like, "Guys, this is really important news that I'm watching. I can't even hear myself think. Can you be quiet?" Okay. So that's the type of way that you would use it in that situation. Okay, and Carlos has, when my daughter is listening to music rather than hear. Okay, so my daughter is listening to music on the TV with a friend from school. Okay, and Carlos, maybe you can tell us what type of activity you're trying to concentrate on in that situation. But let's pretend that you're working from home, because a lot of people these days, they're working from home, and you're maybe trying to concentrate writing an email or something like that. And your daughter comes home from school and she puts on the TV really loud and they're singing and having fun, and you're like, "Girls, keep it down. I can't even hear myself think." Okay. hmm
Let me see here.
Do you want me to share the next one?
I'll share the next one.
Okay.
Okay. So, oh, you shared Carlos already, right?
Yeah. Oh, you weren't
Oh,
on the same screen. Yeah. Don't go with
yeah.
Mishi's one of the answers.
Okay. Children are playing. They are trying to bit music. They are trying to play music, and it's
Yeah.
really loud.
hmm
So their parents might say, their mom or dad might say, let's see, the children are playing, and they're playing loud music, and I can't even hear myself think. Or if they're telling their children, you know, turn that down, I can't hear myself think. So try to include that little phrase in there. Or maybe not, you're giving examples of when you would do it, which is great, what we're looking for.
Yeah. Yeah. So, for example, you're going to want to do like, "Turn that down" if it's music, or "Be quiet." So,
Ah,
a phrase like this in front is going to be really, really helpful. Okay. So, let's go with this one
yeah,
here.
yeah.
Okay, so Myra, hi Myra, welcome to the chat and thanks for participating. Anyone else that's watching that hasn't sent a message yet, you guys have to participate. We're going to be giving away a free course for anybody that participates and watches all the way to the end, okay? So it's really important. Okay, and she says this example doesn't include kids, but in my house, usually there's a lot of noise, like music, or the TV is on a very high volume, you'll say, instead of strong volume. And in this case, maybe it's your husband. Like, for example, well, I have an example after, but yeah, with the TV, if you're trying to concentrate and somebody is in the other room and they've got the volume really, really loud, and you're like, I can't even hear myself think. Can you turn that down? Turn that darn thing down. Right? For example, when I was at your parents' place, Curtis, your parents, and you also used to have this problem. You guys love background noise. And I'm like, we don't need to walk into the house and turn on the TV to have noise. For me, I'm the complete opposite. I like to have calm situations. And, if I'm watching TV, I'm watching TV. If I'm listening to music, I'm listening to music. But I
Right.
don't need the news on in the background. So I felt like saying this several times, but I was a guest in your parents' house, so that's rude. Okay, good. So, Carlos, oh, go ahead.
Sorry, Dawood. Hope I'm saying that right. This is what happens with him when he's taking online classes and the kids play around. So he's trying to concentrate on his online English lessons, and the kids are playing around. So he probably says, "I can't even hear myself think. I'm trying to study."
Okay.
So yeah, it's a good example.
Exactly. And Carlos got back to us about the type of activity that he is trying to concentrate on. So he is also trying to concentrate on his online English classes. And when his daughter comes home and turns on the music on the TV, he is like, oh, I can't even hear myself think. Can you turn that down? Okay. So, okay, let's move on to the next one here. Okay. So, what do we see in this picture, Curtis?
We see a bunch of people grabbing money, dollar bills. Maybe they're in higher amounts or that sort of thing from a tree, almost like it's part of it. So these people, oh, free money, free $5 bills. I think it says $5, free $5. Of course, these people are very excited in this picture.
They're like,
I'd
"Ooh,
love
right
to have a
on."
I'd love
I
to have a tree like this.
I know. I think that we all need a tree like this at the local park. Okay, so this one is for this expression. Money doesn't grow on trees. Okay. And the example we're going to be using this is when your kids want you to buy something and either you don't think that they need it or you just don't want to buy it for them. It doesn't matter. But it's like a type of justification of, hey, money doesn't grow on trees. I have to work for the money. It doesn't just show up in my wallet or arrive to the magic plastic debit or credit card. We have to earn this money because kids don't really understand how that sort of stuff works. So, okay, I want you guys to think of an expensive item that a kid might want you to buy. Maybe it's your own child or it's your niece or nephew or your grandkids, and they really, really want you to buy it, but you don't want to buy it for them. So if you guys can type an idea for the type of item that they want you to buy, but you don't want to buy it for them in that moment. Okay, where it's going to trigger this expression, money doesn't grow on trees. And while you guys are thinking of those examples, Curtis and I are going to share some of our own examples. So Curtis, did you ever hear this phrase?
Yeah. I was into Hot Wheels, toy cars, and I really like to kind of race them around on the floor. And I had a racetrack and all that, but I always wanted the latest, coolest little Hot Wheels car. And every time we'd go into the store, I'd go right to the toy section and grab two or three of them. And my mom, you don't need another Hot Wheels car. Do you think do you think I'm made out of money, or money grows on trees? Money doesn't grow on trees. So I'd be like, I can't get my Hot Wheels car. But it's just what happened. I tried to get those, and money doesn't grow on trees, Curtis, is what I always heard.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
I was just wanting to reply to Carlos here. He said that he wrote 3 examples, but it took a while for those examples to arrive to us. And this might be because the lesson started and then you wanted to start from the beginning. So you moved the position of the video back to the beginning, and that would mean that you're behind on the lesson. So for anybody that's watching right now, make sure that you're right at the end part of the progress bar of the lesson so that you're participating with us live. Okay. And okay, perfect. We've got an example here. Do you want to go ahead?
Myra says video games. Those are very expensive. Yeah, that was another thing for me as well, that I always tried to get as I got older. So tried to get those, and obviously my mom said the same line. How about you, Amy? Is there anything that your mom was, oh, money doesn't grow on trees, Amy?
Yeah, I mean, anytime that I wanted to buy anything, I remember this one time I really wanted this jacket and we were at the store, and I think my mom likes to shop. So she was probably like, oh, I'm going to go shopping with Amy, but maybe not wanting to buy everything. There's a difference between browsing while you're shopping and actually going shopping to buy things. So if you're ever in a store and you just want to look, you can say you're just browsing. And that's really good. Also, if a clerk comes up to you or an attendant at the store, oh, hi, is there anything that I can help you with? You can say, oh, I'm just browsing. But anyway, I would go to the store with her and I would see all sorts of things that I wanted. Maybe it was a cool pair of shoes, maybe it was a jacket. And when I would ask for it, she would look at the price tag and say, no, not today. Oh, come on, Mom, I really want it. I really, really want it. Can we get it? And you know, Amy, money doesn't grow on trees, not today. And they usually get really firm after the first time that they say no. Okay.
David's got a great example. My son wants an iPhone. So expensive.
I can't even buy an iPhone, so you definitely can't. Exactly. So we can say, my son wants an iPhone. So, Dad, you know, I really, really want an iPhone. Can I please get an iPhone? And oh my gosh, hang on. Curtis, can you tell, we have our housekeeper here right now, but she doesn't realize we're recording live. Can you ask her just to be quiet outside?
Okay.
I think she's cleaning something with a broom. It's right outside of my room. You guys probably can't hear it, but it's very loud. Okay, anyway, so for David, what you would say when your son says, oh, I really, really want an iPhone. Well, that's nice, but money doesn't grow on trees, you know. I can't afford an iPhone. I don't have an iPhone. Why do you think you should have an iPhone? And if you have an iPhone, then, well, you can tell him that he should probably save up his money and try to buy an iPhone. And then he'll appreciate how expensive they really are. So, good example. Okay, and right here, part of my live lesson, I know I have some members that are here, but we're going to do a little REC commercial break because we definitely want all of the people that are here watching today that aren't members with us yet to know what you're getting if you join us as a member. So I just want to let you guys know that right now our monthly membership prices are $39 per month or $219 for the entire year. And you might be like, oh, that's a little bit expensive, but let me explain something to you. So right now we have a 20% off coupon available for the 1-year membership. So for $175 for the entire year, you're going to have access to all of our lessons and all of the cool stuff that we have available. This actually works out to about $14.60 per month. So if you are buying this membership, the average monthly cost when you spread it out over 12 months is only $14.60, okay? And I did an interesting quick research yesterday when I was putting this together, and I typed in to Google Images. You can do the same thing you're going to find the same information just to see what the prices are for local schools. And it was a little bit shocking, actually. So for this one here, the Boston School of English, which was the first image we saw there, they are charging $270 per week. Okay, 1 week. You can imagine a month at this school is going to be over $1,000. And that's for 20 lessons. So it sounds like maybe 4 lessons per day, 5 days a week. This one here for the School of English, Leixlip, and I don't know where this is located, but their prices are in euros. So what we have here is it's a 4-week cycle, so this is prices per month, and these ones are $210 per month. The private lessons are about 30 euros per hour. This one here, the Academia School, we have 15 euros per hour, and it looks like they're selling them in groups of 10 or 15. But like this one here, this is 10 hours for 180 euros. Going back to our prices again, they shouldn't really look that high at this point. We're looking at $39 per month or $175 per year. That's a lot of value for what you're getting. And I can guarantee you that we're giving you a lot more than this package here of 10 hours. You're going to get access to 14 online courses that are focused on speaking fluency development, helping you to improve your listening skills, teaching you efficient learning strategies so that you're learning English very efficiently by focusing on what you want to improve. We also have a member-only WhatsApp speaking practice group, and we even have member-only events like live conversation practices. All of this is included in your membership. So don't forget to check that out. Our prices on our website, I understand not everybody is in an economical position to be able to sign up and join us. So you're welcome to enjoy the free lessons if that's your situation right now. But if you're ever looking to really get awesome lessons and to focus on your English, don't forget about us at Real English Conversations. Not only are we probably better teachers and have better resources than your local school, the price is a lot better as well. Okay, I can hear you're back with us, Curtis.
Yeah, I am.
Our poor housekeeper, she's probably like, oh, better done.
Yeah, it's exactly what she said. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I didn't know. Yeah, I think she knocked over a bucket or something outside. I'm like, ooh. Okay, good. Okay, so have you guys ever seen a grumpy looking kid like this? You know, really, not really happy with the situation. I want you to envision that kid and what would make them feel this way, okay? And here's the phrase. That's not fair. So you can tell this girl, that's not fair. And
yeah, I'm not getting my way.
That's right. The parents usually respond with, well, life isn't fair. And this one is this one is great because as a parent, you ultimately have the final word. And if your kid thinks something isn't fair, well, your justification can be, well, life isn't fair. Too bad. Deal with it. Okay. So you can use this expression or this English phrase whenever you see that when your kid sees that another person has something that they want, but they can't have it, that's when this phrase, that's not fair, comes out. And this is when you can reply. So right now, because I needed to create a very specific example to help you to know when to use this, I want you guys to think of a food item or a toy, like some sort of food, maybe a chocolate bar or candy, or a toy that your child sees another kid playing with or eating, okay? And we're going to pretend that they are here and they are not allowed to have that thing, but they see another kid with that item and they ask for it, and you say no. And then they say, that's not fair. And then we're going to say, well, life isn't fair. Okay. So I want you guys to type a food item, some sort of food, or a toy that we can use as an example with you. You can type that into the chat. So Curtis, do you remember ever saying this phrase or hearing this phrase being used?
Yeah. A couple of times I've got like a different example related to an activity, and I do have an example related to a toy. So I was always jealous of my older brothers, or always thinking this was unfair, that they got the newest Lego building blocks and things like that. And of course, my older brothers took possession of those and said, "No, Curtis, you're not. This is my Lego." So I'd go up to mom. "Mom, Kevin and Dale won't let me play with the Lego." And she's like, "It's their Lego, not yours. Your brothers have to, allow you." "Oh, they won't." Well, I would say, well, that's not fair. How come they get to play with and get new Lego? And she's like, "Well, life isn't fair. Cooperate and play nice with your brothers."
Yeah.
So yeah, I
Ask them
have that
nicely.
same.
Yeah. Your mom would probably tell you, well, you can't tell them that you want to play with the Lego. You have to ask them nicely. So maybe you should go back and ask nicely. So if you do that, then you have a higher likelihood of getting them to say, oh, okay, sure, Curtis, you can play. So, okay, let's see. Come on, guys. We're waiting for some examples. We've got 11 people watching this video, but you guys are all scared to practice your English. So I want you to write a food, a type of food that kids like, or a toy that kids like to play with. That's pretty easy. Let's say, I don't know, I'm going to give you guys another 15 seconds to type out one word into the chat box so that we can make some examples and show you guys how to use this expression. Here we go. Okay, so Myra says,
Myra says, I don't have kids, but I grew up with my brothers too. And I think this example applies to everything, not only with one specific thing.
Okay, yeah. So I'm going to think of, I don't know, 10 examples right now. But come on, guys. What do kids like to play with? Curtis, what are some toys, common toys?
Play-Doh. I would say for girls, it's like little dolls.
Yeah, dolls, Barbies, bikes.
All
I don't
sorts
know.
of things. Yeah, baseball bats and like things to play games, soccer balls, things like that.
Here we go. David came up with an idea, and Miriam too. So we're going to start with David and then go back to Miriam. So ice cream. Perfect. Okay. So let's pretend that you already gave ice cream to your daughter or niece or nephew, whoever. And then later, the other kid comes up and they want ice cream. And you're, oh, okay, sure. Here's your portion. But then kid number one sees kid number two eating ice cream again, and they want more ice cream. They want their second serving, okay? And they want seconds on the ice cream. And anyway, so what the first kid is going to say is, I want more ice cream. And then you're going to say, you already had your ice cream. Well, that's not fair. They're eating ice cream. I want ice cream too. And you say, well, life isn't fair.
Okay. That's a good one, ice cream.
Okay. So let's see what... Okay, you've got Miriam.
Miriam, when I was a kid, I used to keep my candies in my drawer and eat them little by little, one by one. My siblings ate them when I couldn't see them. It was not fair.
I know what Miriam wants to say. Okay. For the second sentence, Miriam said, I used to hide the candies in my drawer and eat them little by little. At least that was the plan. But your siblings got into the drawer, or they knew where your stash was. Okay. Your stash is where you put things that you want to keep for later. So they knew where your stash was, or your secret hiding place, and they ate them when you weren't looking. That was not fair. You're right. Your sisters were stealing from you. They were breaking into your drawer. Okay. Do we have another
Carlos
example?
has one here. One day we were in the Walmart store, and my daughter saw a family in line, and the girl had a stuffed animal. And she asked me if I could get one for her too. And I told her that not today, maybe later.
Exactly.
And she probably said, "Dad, that's not fair. She's got one."
Yeah,
And
I want one
then,
too. And then Carlos said, well, life isn't fair. Too bad. Deal with it. Okay, we've got a toy car. Here we go. So your kid wants a toy car and you say no. And the kid's like, well, that kid has one. I want one too. And you say, well, too bad. Life isn't fair. Okay, awesome. Let's go on to the next one here. Oh, it's the secret opportunity to win the free course. Okay, so I know
Ooh,
we have a
yeah.
few people that are members watching right now, so don't answer this later. You don't need to do anything. But for anybody who is not a member of our website and you'd like to have access to a free course, I want you to write down the words rainbow and zebra. Okay? Write it down, rainbow and zebra. You're going to need these words for later because only people that have written down these words and participate in this lesson are going to be eligible to win our free course. So write these down, rainbow and zebra. Simple words, okay? And
We've got another.
okay.
Okay, there we go. Go.
Here's the English phrase number 4. So we've got a little kid sitting at the kitchen table, empty plate. He's got his fork and his knife, and he's probably hungry. Okay, this one's funny. So the phrase or the funny thing that you can say is the kid says, I'm hungry. And then the parent says, hi, hungry. Nice to meet you.
Oh, this is classic, Amy. This one is really classic.
Exactly. So this is obviously a situation where the kid is stating an obvious fact. Okay. And right here, okay, you're hungry. Great. So when they say I'm hungry, it's almost like how you say, hi, I'm Amy. Okay, they're introducing themselves. So you're using the I am with whatever adjective instead of your name. And this is how we can use this. So it's going to work with everything. And okay, so you can use this if you feel like bugging your kid. Bugging is another verb for saying annoying. So when you're bugging somebody, it's like you're doing something to bug them or annoy them a little bit. So you're giving them this reply kind of as a sarcastic comment of whatever their latest status update is. I'm hungry, I'm bored, whatever. Okay. So now we need to think of another mood or an emotion or a current state or status where this type of thing would be funny. So instead of saying I'm hungry, what do we want to put in here? I'm whatever. And then we're going to say, hi, whatever. Nice to meet you. Okay, so you guys can think of some sort of adjective or some status, some mood, just something that kids normally say, like they're reporting to you about something that they need, basically. And you're giving them a smart answer to get a laugh. Okay. So, okay. Oh, I see we've got a few people that are here. So, hi, Nisei. Awesome.
Yeah, hi, Nisa. Good to see you.
Yeah. And oh, we have another person, Eugene. Okay. Eugene left a comment, but we're going to keep moving forward with the lesson. So, okay, Miriam likes this one. She thinks that it's a really funny expression. Definitely, definitely. So, guys, think of some sort of emotion or update. I'll give you another one just as an example. A really, really classic one is, I'm bored.
Yeah.
Okay, so your kid doesn't know what to do, they're bored, and they expect you to find a way to entertain them. So you're going to say, your kid says, I'm bored. And you say, hi, bored, nice to meet you. And if you continue, you'll probably get a different type of answer. I don't know if it's in our expression list. I can't remember. Do we have the one where we say, I'll give you something to do? I don't think so, right?
I don't think so.
Okay, so it's really, really funny when your kid complains about being bored. Your parents, they kind of get this evil expression, right? You say, Dad, I'm bored. And then your dad is like, I'll find something for you to do. And you're like, no, it's okay. And then you run away because they're going to give you a chore. They're going to make you do something that's horrible.
For me, it was cutting the grass.
Yeah, they make you, or they have some major project that they want you to help with to keep you busy. And for whatever reason, they think that you're going to be helpful instead of annoying. So my dad, we had a backyard, and he had these cedar trees, like bushes basically, that went around the entire yard. And if I ever said something like, I'm bored, he might have some sort of project like trimming the cedars, and then I would have to go out and pick up all of the clippings from the trees and put them in a bag. So I never, ever, ever told my parents that I was bored.
Or you get stuck with the yard work.
This is a really good example, and I'm going to point it out to explain the difference between bored and boring. Okay, this is a really, really common error. I see this happen all the time. So does anybody know the difference between to be bored and to be boring? Okay, I'm just writing it in the chat right now. Okay, does anybody know the difference between these? Okay, Curtis, what happens if you're bored? What does that one mean?
Bored is the actual emotion or feeling that you have.
Like nothing to do.
Nothing to do at that specific moment.
You're like, I don't know what to do. I'm bored.
Nothing to do.
Watched TV. I've read my book. I've went on the internet. I've studied English. You have nothing else to do, so you're bored. It's like
that's the feeling.
a state of feeling like you want something to do to entertain you, but you don't know what to do. What happens if you're boring?
You're not a very exciting person. You might be making somebody feel bored if you're boring.
Exactly. Boring people are people that are like, they're just boring. They're like, you are bored when you're talking to a boring person. They're not interesting. They don't have cool stories. They're not fun to talk to. They're not fun to be with. Those are boring people. So let's look at a boring situation. When I was younger, I used to often go to my grandparents' house after school or on the weekends. And they're old people, so they've got their own activities, whatever they do, but there weren't really a lot of toys for kids, and I was there alone a lot. So I felt bored all the time because that type of environment is really boring for kids. So you don't want to be boring. Okay, so just be careful with using these two. They totally change the meaning. But yeah, we've got, here we are. Miriam says, Mama, I'm bored. Hi, bored. Nice to meet you. Perfect. Okay. Do we have any other examples?
Let me see. Bored is the verb, but boring is the adverb. Fo says.
Thank you. Native speakers don't always know the grammatical stuff. We know what sounds right. We know what the meaning is, but the specifics of the sentence structure is not something that we specialize in particularly. Okay. And let's see here. Okay, so let's give a couple of other situations that we could say. So
for being bored?
No.
Oh.
I'm hungry.
Okay. I'm tired.
I'm tired. There you go. Hi, tired. Nice to meet you. You should go to bed. You know where that is, right? Okay. So we don't have
Right.
kids. I'm very direct when I talk to kids.
Go to sleep.
Okay, good. So let's see here. Let's move on to the next one for you guys. Oh, we've got a crazy picture here. So
Oh.
we have a tiny little kid. It's probably Photoshop, guys. I don't think this is real. But there's a tiny little girl, and she's on the back of a crazy horse. Okay.
Wow.
And this goes with the expression, hold your horses, young man, or
Mm-hmm.
hold your horses, young lady. And what does this situation mean, and when do we use it?
I would I would say that the meaning would be if you're trying to go somewhere and your parents don't want you to go, then your dad or mom might say, where are you going? Hold your horses, young man. You can't leave yet."
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, or you're on the way out the door and your mom is still packing or getting ready for leaving the house, and yeah, she basically is, hold your horses. We're not ready yet. Okay.
Or if I was trying to sneak out of the house,
Hmm.
and obviously I didn't think my parents were going to catch me, and then sometimes my dad was always there magically. "Where are you going, young man? Hold your horses."
Yeah, hold your
Yeah.
horses, young man. Where are you going? And okay, so to practice this activity, I just want you guys to think of a situation that your kids might be ready to start before you, but they need you to accompany them or they need you to be with them. So they're another way that we say this is jumping the gun, actually,
Nice.
another expression. So it's like to do something too early. Okay. Too early. So if they're jumping the gun and they, you know, want to leave the house, go in the car, uh, start walking down the road, whatever it is, you might say, hold your horses, young man, I'm not ready. Or hold your
Mhm.
horses, young lady, I'm not ready. Okay, so what sort of activity that you normally do with kids, where do you go? Write your answer in the chat box. And, oh, David, fast.
He's got great examples.
Hmm. Okay, do you want to talk about this one?
Okay, jumping into the pool. So maybe you're not ready to go into the pool, or maybe you're jumping the gun in going to the pool, and your mom wants you to do your house chores or your homework first, and you start running toward the pool, and you're about to jump in. Yeah, wait. Hold your horses, young man or young lady. You're not allowed to swim or go in the pool yet. Finish your homework.
Exactly.
So,
This could be like moving on to the reward before finishing the task. Or in this case, it might be a little kid, like a 3-year-old, and they're like, oh, I want to go in the pool. And they're, running toward it. And they don't know how to swim. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold your horses, young lady. We have to put on your water wings. Those are those things that we put on here.
water wings.
Or life jacket or whatever it is, or hold your horses, I have to go in with you, I'm not ready yet. Okay, so this is a really, really good example. Okay.
Miriam's got a great one here too. When we are going to have a meal, they always start before all of us are starting to, or before all of us are sitting at the table. Yeah, usually it's good manners for like a family to all eat together and start eating.
Mhm.
And there is always somebody that might be a little extra hungry and letting their hunger take control.
Mhm.
And it's like, wait, no, we're supposed to all eat. Hold your horses, young lady. You can wait until we're all at the table.
Yeah, you have to wait until we all sit down, especially the cook, the person that prepared this lovely meal for you. It's very rude to dig in and start eating before everyone else.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay, good. And
Yeah, Carlos.
oh, okay, we've got a young daughter with, well, an adult daughter, but still. Carlos is like, no, she's my baby. She can't go at the party. So his daughter wants to go out and party with her friends. So she says, no, hold your horses, young lady. I don't care how old you are. As long as you live under my house, you follow my rules, and you are not going out to
Ooh.
party. Okay. This last one, I don't think this is related to it. Oh,
Oh,
did you just click on?
there you
Yeah,
go.
I'm just looking at 𝗏𝗏, but I don't think this is related to this expression. This is me before the last final exam. Ah, okay, I see. He's like, oh, wait, I'm not ready. Okay, good. Now let's move on to the, oh, I got a copy. Here we are. Oh, this is like Carlos's example. This is
Yeah.
clearly not his daughter. Hopefully this one here without the drink in her hand. But this girl, she's bad.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's smoking.
Yeah, these are bad girls. Okay.
Bad
Uh,
girls.
Teenagers. And this is a really good one that you can use if you're really disappointed in your son or daughter for the way that they behave. Because a lot of times, like the way kids are when they're 3 or 4 years old, you have different problems than you have when you're raising a teenager. And teenagers can do things that are really, really risky to
Mhm.
their health or their safety, but they don't realize the risks because they're not adults. They don't understand that stuff. So
Mhm.
you have them out, they're drinking, underage drinking, they're smoking. Looks like these girls are outside. Who knows where they are? Maybe not in a safe place, but they're having fun. And then you find out where they were and what they were doing, and you're disciplining them and you're giving them a lecture.
Mhm.
Anything could have happened to you. I was worried sick. Man, and
Right.
now they're like, yeah, it's a typical spiel that you would give to your kids when you're talking about your disappointment. Okay. So if
Mhm.
you have a serious situation like that, then you can use this expression. I hope you have a daughter just like you. Okay. And, or a son, if
Yeah.
it's a boy. But this is like, you put me through so much stress and I don't know what to do with you. And the
Mhm.
only way that I can make you understand what you've done is to help you see things from my shoes, to put you in my shoes. Okay.
Mhm.
So I hope you have a son or daughter just like you. Okay. So you use this. If you have a difficult teenager or somebody that doesn't want to listen to you, this is to be used in a situation that's very stressful. Okay.
Mhm.
Don't use it lightly. It's not an everyday one. And so now we don't want to talk about our kids because we don't want to embarrass our kids, but we can embarrass ourselves. So, what was something bad that you did when you were growing up that probably made your parents feel like this? And then I put if they knew, because maybe it was something that you did and you didn't get caught. Okay. So, Curtis, did you ever hear this phrase? Did they ever use it with you?
Yeah, my mom used it, I think, only once, and it was because I stayed out. I went partying, and I stayed out all night, but I didn't phone home.
Hmm.
So my mother was just worried sick, like you said,
Mhm.
and she was like, I hope you have children one day. I hope you have a son just like you. I hope you go through this same worried sick feeling about your child.
Where
You know,
is he? Is he coming home? Is he alive? Is he
right?
okay? Is he safe? Oh, I'm so worried. I'm so worried. It's like a
Hmm.
serious stress you're putting your parents through. So, yeah, yeah, exactly. And I was a pretty good kid. I don't think that I heard this particular phrase, but I can imagine some of the things that I did that my parents probably would feel this way. I was a pretty independent kid, and I went out and I hung out with my friends, and we definitely were drinking underage and having parties. I don't think they knew about that sort of stuff. Maybe they had an idea, but not a full picture. So yeah, if they caught me and found out, they would be having this same conversation. I hope you have a daughter that's just like you. We actually care about you. We love you, and you're not. We don't know where you are. We don't know if you're safe. So yeah. So let's see. If anybody has any situations where they did something bad, or a situation that would cause them to be very worried about their kids, for example, maybe you can write that in the chat box. Okay, we've just got a couple minutes left, so we're going to talk about the next one. This is a really funny one. I don't know if you guys have ever heard this expression, but to put a sock in it is what the phrase is. The English phrase here, put a sock in it. Okay. And this is another way of saying shut up or be quiet. Okay. So you only use this if you're really annoyed because maybe you're trying to focus, or maybe you've already told your son or daughter or somebody to be quiet and they didn't listen. So to change the diversity a little bit, would you please be quiet? Would you shut up already? And then, it's escalating. Finally, it's like, just put a sock in it. Okay. So that's how we're going to use this one. Okay. And I want everybody to think of an activity right now that you really need to concentrate on. Okay. We're just going to think about an activity where you need to concentrate. That's what I want you to put in the chat box. And then we're going to apply this English phrase to that example that you've provided to us. Okay. So, Curtis, did you ever hear put a sock in it?
Yes. Whenever I would tell, I was more of a teenager, 13, 14, 15 years old. I'm into telling bad, really cheesy kind of jokes. And sometimes I just keep going and going and going. And yeah, it would drive my mom crazy. My dad would laugh, but my mom just got so annoyed by it. And she, put a sock in it already with the jokes, Curtis. So yeah, that was one time where I just wouldn't shut up with the jokes.
Exactly. Yeah. And I can relate to this because you love puns and I hate puns. They're like what's an example of a pun? Can you think of one?
Well, I had to put me on the spot here. The pun master. I would say something like, if it was a rainy day outside, I would say, "Oh yeah, it's a really rainy day," and Amy would say, "Oh yeah, it's a rainy day." I'm like, "Yeah, it's really going to pour a bad
Put a damper on your day or
put
something?
put a damper on your day." Yeah, something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
It's going to rain on our parade.
Yeah, and yeah, he would just keep going and going and going with these stupid expressions, and I don't find them funny. When most of the time, I would say maybe 1% of your puns I actually find funny. So I want to tell Curtis to put a sock in it when he is sharing his bad puns with me. Okay, so let's go back. We've actually got a couple people that participated in number 6. So just for example, David, he was a party animal as well. So he went out to party at night and he got home late, and his parents, when they were shaking their finger at him, David, I hope you have a son or a daughter that's just like you, because this was a serious mistake. We didn't know where you were. We told you to be home by a certain time and you didn't listen. Okay. So, and
I've got Miriam here. When I was a teen, I used to say the opposite thing to my mother. And she always said to me, I hope you have a daughter just like you.
I hope you have
Of-
a daughter half like you are. Oh, okay. So only 50%. Okay, that's funny. Okay, so moving back to this one, the put a sock in it. Okay, do we have some activity examples?
Let me see here. Oh yeah, Carlos has another good one. Carlos is on a roll with his responses and examples today. Sometimes I'm working trying to troubleshoot a machine that probably has a problem with my partner, and she is talking and talking, so I can say, put a sock in it. So if someone's talking too much here, I think is the example.
Mhm.
And then, yeah, Carlos would say, put a sock in it. You're talking too much. I'm trying to troubleshoot this technical problem.
Exactly. And you used a really cool phrase, to be on a roll. This means that you have lots of good examples in the case of this lesson, for example, or you're doing some sort of activity consecutively and you feel like you've got some momentum. So you're like, oh, I'm on a roll. Let's do another one. Okay. So that was perfect. Okay. And here we are. We've got Miriam says, when my father was sleeping, I played with my siblings and we laughed, and our mom wanted us to slow down. So yeah, or to quiet down. So, you know, she would say, girls, would you put a sock in it? Your father's trying to sleep. Okay. Exactly. Nice examples, guys. Okay. So here's the chance for anybody who's not a member of ours already that showed up to the lesson, watched the entire thing, and I know that there are a few of you. If you'd like the chance to win one of our free courses, I want you to type the 2 secret words that I shared with you about 20 minutes ago into the chat box right now for your chance to enter to win a course. And Curtis, how are we going to choose the number?
Choose the number.
Maybe we'll do the eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So, okay, we've got one person that has
One
answered.
person so far.
Let's see. This might not be a case where we have to actually draw. Let's see.
Yeah.
See how many people have been with us all the way through. So, did anybody here learn any new expressions from our conversation today? Were these phrases that you heard for the first time? Did anybody win or learn something new? Okay.
We've got another entry.
Okay. And I think we're going to let you guys enter those 2 secret words if you'd like to enter to win a course. But if you learned something new from these phrases, honestly, we used the 7 phrases that we planned on teaching you. But if you watch this lesson again and listen to our explanations with your pen and paper ready, we probably said about 50 expressions in this lesson. I can't believe the quantity of things that we said. And they
Oh,
just
yeah.
came out naturally. So with a 1-hour lesson of natural conversation, you're really going to hear a lot of cool phrases and normal ways that we say things. So we're just going to let people enter to win those 2 secret words. And
4 entries so far.
good. And just a reminder here that our premium memberships on our website are available. We've got a 20% off discount available for the 1-year memberships right now. So when you divide this $175 price divided by 12 months, that's only $14.60 per month, which is pretty good. Even living here in Mexico, like our prices here are not as expensive as they are in Canada, for example. But for $14.60, that's like, you know, a meal out, or I don't know, like our internet bill, maybe. Like if we had inexpensive internet, it would be the cost of our internet bill, or like our cell phone in Canada. Oh my, cost of a cell phone was crazy. Here,
Oh.
luckily, it's a lot less, but
Mhm.
um, $14.60 is just a little bit more than the cost of my cell phone. And in Canada, it's about 10% of the cost of my cell phone. So it's really, really not too expensive. So just remember those comparisons I did to the schools that we had before, where this school was $270 per week, 270 euros per month, 8 lessons for 175 pounds at this place, or $158 for 10 hours of lessons. You know, when we go back to this comparison here, you guys can see it's 100% reasonable what we're offering. And the reason why we can do that is because we don't have a building. We're online. Everything that we do is there. It's available for you all the time. You can study these online courses whenever you have time. You can join us for our speaking practice events that we have, or in our WhatsApp speaking practice group. And it's really a lot. And plus, you know, I don't teach at your local school. So if you guys like me and Curtis or Curtis and I, and you want to learn with us, you're never going to find us at the local school. Really, the best teachers in the world are usually online like we are. So, you know, you don't even need to leave your house to learn with us. But okay, cool.
Wow.
Do we have
Lots of
entries?
people have, yeah, we've got only the
Oh,
4
cool.
entries,
Uh-huh.
and people responding to how much they learned today. And this was a really good one. Miriam learned from all of them. They were all new for her. Money doesn't grow on trees from Trung. Excellent stuff. So they've learned a ton, like Carlos says here, learned a lot, a ton. Good use of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent expressions. And David also agrees that he's from Canada. Fido is a cell phone provider in Canada, and he pays about 60 bucks. It's like this, David. 60 bucks per month for his Fido bill. And that's exactly what we paid. I think we paid $60 for each of our cell phone numbers plus
Mhm.
tax, like 14 or 12% tax. It's awful. Okay, so okay, let's see who our winners are. So
Okay.
we have 4
Mhm.
entries, you said?
We do. We have Myra, Carlos,
Uh-huh.
Eugene, and Fo.
Okay,
And
so
yeah,
I'm going to do the eeny, meeny, miny, mo game. Okay, this is when we're choosing something randomly. And what is the one that you know? Mine's catch a tiger by the toe. Is that the one that you?
yeah, that's the one I know.
Okay.
But of course, I'm getting creative. Catch a student by the toe.
There we are. How do you spell eeny, meeny? Like, is that even a word?
Is it double E?
I
Meanie,
don't know
would
how
it
you
be
do
like
it.
mean, like rude?
I
Or
don't know.
something?
Okay, I'm going to type this out for you. Okay, so eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Okay. And then we say catch a
Catch
tiger.
or a
Okay.
student.
Or a student. Tiger by his toe. Okay.
Mhm,
And then there's maybe more. I don't know. But this is the expression that we know. So
mhm.
bonus English phrase for you guys. Okay. So I'm going to do this with the 4 participants that entered. Okay, here we go. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a tiger by his toe. Carlos, you're already a member. That you can't play. Okay.
So we got Myra, Eugene, and Fo.
Yeah. Okay. Let me do it again.
Okay.
Carlos, you won, but you can't play because you're already a member. So let me try again. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a tiger by his toe. I'm moving my thing. Okay, Myra, you win. You are the winner of the free course that we have available. Congratulations. So you
Yay.
can write to me by email. Just come to the website, say, "Hi, Amy, it's Myra. I, was participating in your live membership or your live lesson, and I want to get my free course." So yeah, thank you guys so much for sticking around with us all the way to the end and participating. If you know that somebody else might benefit from these lessons or they might like to join us, please share our lessons, tell them about our website, the YouTube subscription, and make sure that you join our email list because we always send out a notification about any new lessons that we have available. It's not just our live YouTube lessons. We have 3 podcast lessons every single month. We have new YouTube videos. We have the live lessons here. We have new things that we add to our courses, for example. So it's really, really important to come to our website and just create a free account there. If you don't, if you're not ready to sign up, no problem. Just create a free one. So we'll see all of you guys next time. Thank you so much. Oh, Myra's really, really stoked about this. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Yes. Okay.
Good. Good.
And we'll see you in our member area, Myra. And we hope that everyone else has a really, really good rest of the weekend. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye, guys.